Now, that's what we do. We break the rules. We're going to break the rules. It's Tuesday night. It's 8:30 here in New Zealand, and it's almost past my bedtime. So I'm breaking the rules. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do something a little bit different like we did last week. We're going to showcase some of the real problems that are going on in the world so that you guys can understand actually what's happening. We're going to bring it to the surface. We're not going to cut any corners here. We don't want to show you a really boring presentation that you've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. We're going to show you some, some real stuff that's happening like right now, today. So just to get started, I'll do a quick introduction on myself, and then I'll pass it over to Ryan. So as you guys know, if you didn't know, I was a coach for 10 years. I lived in Perth, and what I discovered was working inside four walls was not for me. And it was really limiting my potential, my ability to help more people, and my ability to, empower more people globally. And that wasn't until 2020, where 7K fell into my lap, and it gave me the ability to actually start to work my way out of those four walls and have the ability to work online full time. And in July, I decided I'd go full time with 7K, and we're working online full time. I moved back to New Zealand to spend more time with my mum. She was going through a cancer journey, and she just got cured from cancer. So I had to come back and spend time with her, and it's been amazing ever since. And we're just continuing to change lives and empower people with precious metals. And have precious metals delivered to their door every month. So it's super exciting. I'm going to pass you over to Ryan, then we're going to get started.
Awesome, thank you. Before Cole, I know it's cold over there, but your mic's rubbing against your big zipper jacket, so trying to hold it or move it. Yeah, so I'm Ryan. Lovely to have you guys all on here, and hopefully people that are watching live on Facebook, or at least watching the recording. Thank you for, giving us your time. We're super excited to be here. We're here every single Thursday. And like Cole said, we've got this one, and then two more. Then we're done for Christmas. We'll have a little break, enjoy time with, family, friends, loved ones. And then we'll get back into it next year as well. So I'm a high school teacher by, trade, profession. Absolutely love it, but unfortunately, especially with the rising costs of living, where you're not going to make an awful lot of money being a high school teacher, and it's going to be pretty hard to get into the housing market, get into looking after family and stuff like that, just relying on the teacher salary. So I started looking for other, options, other ways to make money. Great. The good thing is we are in the information age right now, so it's very, very easy to find different options, to find different opportunities, and to, make money rather than just giving up your time and exchanging that for money. So when Cole came to me with precious metals, gold and silver, I didn't know a single thing about gold or silver. Other than being a teacher, I knew that the pharaohs were buried with it, and I knew that kings and queens used it, and it was relics of the wealthy. But I didn't know much about it. I thought maybe it was back in the day. Didn't know if it was still around, sort of thing. And I just said yes because I trusted Cole, and we're good mates. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And I'm so grateful that I did say yes, to just dive in, and I've learned a lot along the way. And I can confidently tell you right now that gold and silver is definitely not a relic of the past. It is very much so still, assets of, the wealthy. But the good thing about to this day and age is that, you don't have to be a king or queen to get this precious metals. You can be anyone. And that's what's so great about this, and great about this opportunity that we're going to share tonight. So if you are like me and you don't know anything about gold and silver, like we always start off with, I think it's very important, because education is vital. That's where most people go wrong or struggle in this world, is due to the lack of education. So This is top assets by market cap. This is actually last week's one. So you can see gold is 11.4 trillion. So I'm going to hit refresh. We'll have to see how it's gone through the week. Oh, there you go, jumped up 11.8 trillion now. So gold is top assets by market cap at number one, 11.8 trillion. It's climbing even more. Apple's at 2.3 trillion in second place. So only a small, measly $9 trillion difference between, you know, number one asset in the world and number two asset. But if you're unsure, I guess what this is basically where all the people, wealthy people, big companies, organizations are, you know, storing or putting their wealth. So gold's number one, silver's number 6 at 1.2 trillion. So again, that's climbing up. It wasn't that long ago. It was at $9 trillion. Sorry, it's 9 billion. So like we always say, wealth doesn't just disappear, it gets transferred. All right, and we can see here that silver's climbed. It was 7 at one stage, did go up to 5 for a little bit and then back to 6. But you can see silver's 6th place, gold's number 1. And I guess the value of silver at $22.46 an ounce for spot price is why a lot of people, and me included, say silver is I guess considered the most undervalued asset in the world due to its industrial use. So I just wanted to show you this in case you were unaware of, I guess, assets, market cap, and I guess where people are storing their wealth. Is there anything you want to add on to that, Cole?
Yeah, I think it's really important, like Ryan said, with understanding where the wealth's actually moving to. So as we said, like wealth, it doesn't disappear, it transfers. And if we can get on the right end of the spectrum and attach ourselves to the trends that are happening in the markets, and this is exactly why we show you these, I guess, indicators is what they are. The indicators, and what they're doing is helping you understand where the money in the world or where the wealth in the world is actually shifting to. When we look at the gold here being up, well, what is that, Ryan? That's 400 billion,
400 billion, yeah.
$400 billion change in the last, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that's moved in the last week. This is last Thursday, so this is the last 7 days. $400 billion has been moved into the gold market. Okay, so if that's not an indicator for you that it's a good idea to partner and attach yourself to, you know, the number 1 and the number 6 asset in the world, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I reckon we just end the presentation now. That's it, done.
Yeah, that's it. That's enough.
Simple as that. But I guess, like, when you understand the industrial use as well of silver, you're going to realize how powerful silver is. But another, I guess, good indicator is, you know, is this fiat system that we have at the moment. So this is the USA debt clock right now. If you're unsure, oh, why would you show USA or from New Zealand, from Australia? Unfortunately, everyone is tied to the US dollar. When we took off, well, back in 1944, yeah, the Bretton Woods Agreement, everyone tied themselves to the US dollar because at the time it was as good as gold. And then in 71, they took the, you know, US dollar off the gold standard temporarily. And, you know, fast forward 51 years, it's still off and we're still tied to the US dollar. So it does affect the whole world. Hence why 2008 financial crash happened. Everyone got, you know, felt the wrath of that. So this is the USA debt clock, 31,300,000,000. So that's climbed even more. I think we're 31.2 something last week. So you can see it's constantly climbing and growing. It's a lot of money to be in debt because it is a fiat system, is a debt system. And in order to continue flowing and going, you have to get into more and more debt. But then that's why I guess we always say, and a lot of very wealthy, successful people always say, do not save dollars. Because if you're saving dollars that they print, that's just debt, you're not going to come up, I guess, a winner because as we all know at the moment, we're fighting inflation, purchasing power is constantly going down. It has always gone down from when you're a little kid. If your parents gave you $1 to where you try to give your kids $1 now, that's not going to go as far. And I guess I just wanted to highlight this again, just so you can visually see it. If you were here last week, you would have seen it again. And I just want to I guess the more times people are I guess, showing something, the more it starts to become clear. And another thing I just wanted to highlight is here, dollar to silver ratio. So this is why I guess the silver price is considered the most undervalued asset in the world, is because realistically, the physical silver value should be $672 per ounce. We're at $22 per ounce, but it should be 672. The reason they are able to keep it like that is because of this paper to silver ratio. So 463 ounces of paper silver to 1. And we know, paper silver is obviously not real silver. You don't physically own it. And that's how they're able to keep that price down. So I just wanted to highlight that. And the other thing was just down here. So currency and credit derivatives, $613 trillion. The U2 money supply now $21 trillion. So we're constantly printing more and more money. So how long can this go on for? No one knows. But I'm just going to highlight 2008. So this is when the 2008 financial crash happened, and everyone knows what happened there. We always say, look back at history, it leaves clues. We often tend to never learn from history. That's why it always repeats itself. The US debt clock in 2008. So this was like 2007, the crash, and that started happening. It was 9 trillion. Fast forward to 2008, obviously we started printing a lot of money to bail out a lot of banks and people, nearly $11 trillion. So $11 trillion in 2008, and we know how bad that was. And we're at 30, nearly, well, what are we at? 32, nearly, well, 31 and a bit trillion. So that's just what I want to highlight, just to really, I guess, and the money supply at that time was 8 trillion. What are we at now? 21 trillion.
And it is important to understand that fiat currency has a life cycle. And when you're working with something that has no backing and it has a life cycle, I mean, it's not something you want to save in. You don't want to put this type of currency in your savings. And that's why it's important to understand the track record of silver and gold, and knowing that it has a solid track record. There's stability there, which means it's a great idea to actually utilize and introduce precious metals into your portfolio or your strategy.
Exactly. And like you're saying, it has a track record of, on average, around 50 years. And like we said, dollar got taken off the gold standard 51 years ago. So
we're in the oven, bro. It's baking.
I'm not suggesting or saying anything, but those are the facts, and that's what's happening. So just letting you guys know.
We're at that tipping point.
At that tipping point. And why save in things that the government can print? You want to be saving in physical assets that, like Cole said, have thousands of years track record. Kings, queens, back in the day, pharaohs, all use gold, silver. And just to recap from last week as well, the rise and fall of the dollar. You just put in purchasing power of the dollar into Google, and these are the images that come up. The value of gold versus the purchasing power of the dollar. Gold's continually gone up, dollar's gone down. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that because we went over it last week, but I just wanted to highlight that again just to show you I just want to come in on something there. I think it is important really to understand that as the purchasing power is dropping, all it's doing is making things more difficult for us. So, or not necessarily us, but in general society, things are becoming more difficult because we need more dollars to get goods and services. And Ryan's going to share some up-to-date articles in a second about or examples that are actually happening in real time. So what people are struggling with, and the average family, is really even struggling. They can't even live. They're living week to week. They're living on the edge. They're at tipping point. Not only the economy is at tipping point, but people are at tipping point. We're going to show some articles in a second. Yeah, and I think that is a good point to bring up, that our paychecks, even like since I've been here like 11 years in Australia, pays have not increased, or if they have, not much. If we go back to here, this is the median income in 2000, $32,000. Now in 2022, $36,000. So it's grew $4,000, but we know purchasing stuff has gotten more and more expensive, and we're going to show we'll showcase that in a minute. But I found this article this week, 29th of November, so yesterday or the other day. It says fairly new. Almost half of Aussies run out of money before payday. Half of Aussies. So what I want people to just think about just that title is, I'm not saying that's you, but a lot of people are in this boat right now. And if you're running out before payday, that means one, things are too expensive for you. Two, you're not making enough doing your job. So if your job's not providing you enough money to survive, then you need to start thinking of other avenues of whether it's to protect and grow your wealth, whether it's to find different businesses or different streams of income. These are the things that people need and that people need to be doing, because like it says here, over half of Aussies run out of money before payday. So their payday is not enough. And that's what I just wanted to I guess, point out. And then we go down here, the cost of living has increased. Every essential living of $1 million is out to dry before payday. A research found 1 in 2, 43% of Aussies were running out of money before they received their next pay. So this is why everyone's living off credit. And this is why the debt clocks are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is why not only is it better to, I guess, store and protect your wealth, but multiple streams of income in an information world that we live in now. The industrial world's long gone. It's now essential. Like it's
a necessity.
Yeah, you need
it's a necessity. And in saying that as well, it is really key to actually, when you think about this, you need to think about, okay, we can't predict we don't have a crystal ball. You know, we can just be a speculator and go, okay, we believe this is going to happen based on the knowledge that we've built. And all we're doing is trying to empower people to understand the same, to think the same, to do the same, to act the same. And, you know, these articles, all they are just showcasing and backing up what we've been saying for the last 2.5 years. So, you know, if this doesn't help you, I really hope this empowers you to take action. Yeah. Because if you don't take action now, nobody's going to change. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to save yourself. These articles are here to help you understand. This is mainstream media that's showing you that this is happening live right now.
Yeah. Around 3.2 million people completely run out of money before each payday. So they're completely out of money before each payday. So this showcases to me that people need this. And if you are in it, we need to be talking and sharing this with way more people, because this is how, I guess, bad it's getting. And I don't know about you, can you think in your lifetime where prices have gone up and then gone, oh, you know what, we're going to go back down and be cheaper? No. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more expensive. It's as simple as that. You know, there might be the odd occasional thing that, you know, gets cheaper because it becomes easier to make, or, you know, the resources become a lot more efficient. But majority of everyday living, whether it's food, rent, and stuff like that, has always gone up. So I just wanted to showcase this one. It's a good article. If you want me to send it to you, happily to send it to you. Then there's another one like we were talking about. So the rising cost of living. So Woolworths supermarket responds to customers' outrage as popular fruit skyrockets to $34 each. And that popular fruit is a watermelon, now priced at $34. For a quarter is $8.58. So watermelon's pretty popular, especially in Australia. Lots of kids like it. It's good summer fruit. But who's going to be able to pay $34 for a whole watermelon, or even a quarter, $8? You know, this is crazy.
The weird thing is most of the watermelon is liquid.
Yeah.
So you're paying for liquid.
Exactly, you're paying for water.
It is crazy. And, you know, we saw the tomato scandal as well, and we've seen other things increase in price, especially fruit and veggies, and this is becoming, you know, there's people out there like, see, not even organic. So like Danielle is saying in the chat, This is just your average fruit and veg, you know, and it is mind-blowing to see this happening. But believe it or not, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So this is where we need to start preparing, okay, and taking action now on actually changing our spending habits, changing our mindset around how we spend and actually what we do with our money on a week-by-week basis. Because there's two real keys to this. This is what's going to help you get ahead. And I want to share this with you guys. Now, the first thing is you need to spend less. And the next thing is you need to earn more. Those are the two keys to getting ahead. Spend less, make more. And that's really, end of the day, that's bottom line, full stop.
Yeah, I think this article actually highlights a lot more than just, you know, the watermelon at $34 a watermelon. Obviously, it's highlighting, you know, the purchasing power and how weak the dollar gets, but it's they're blaming it on you know, adverse growing conditions. There's not enough supply. So this goes back to why I say silver is easily the #1 asset in the world and the most undervalued asset in the world, because we are already struggling right now to provide the demand of silver. Yeah, electronics all need silver. Solar is massive. What the massive component of silver is in that. And where are we heading? New Green Deal. We're heading towards solar. We're heading towards the whole new Green Deal. It's amazing for electronics, amazing for batteries. You know, where we're trying to get, or everyone's trying to get electric cars. So if we already can't survive or provide the demand now, they can't just print more silver like they do with the dollar. They print more of that easily, but they can't print more silver. So there comes a time where, like here, we're showing in the watermelon, if there's only a certain amount and there's so many people trying to buy it, the price has to skyrocket. It's as simple as that. So this highlights way more than just how much, you know, fruit is. So I just want people to start thinking about that. And then if you're unsure, just even Google what silver is used in, and then think about where the world's heading. And, you know, that's going to be a light bulb moment, just that alone. All right, so now this is an old article, and then we're going to look at a quick few, but we want to talk about, I guess, the banking system, I guess, because obviously most people, all we know is, you know, leave our money in the banks. That's what we've been taught. Yeah, you know, it's the reason we're in this crisis of the debt and system is because of the banks. And leaving our money in the banks might seem like the safest option, but obviously you're automatically losing when you leave it in the banks due to inflation, purchasing power. But also you might lose in the banks due to them just deciding to take your money. So this is Greece seizes 500,000 bank accounts worth of euros, 1.6 billion worth of euros. So hundreds of thousands of Greeks have lost their hard-earned savings to government seizure this year, exponentially more than in previous years. So it wasn't just this year, more previous years they were still taking their money. All right, so this is saying time to get some Bitcoin, but what I want to highlight is that, you know, banks can just seize, governments can just seize your money. 500,000. I don't think, you know, Greece has 500,000 criminals. I don't think they're all, you know, criminal people. It's just, you know, Greece had a big rough time back then, actually. They almost basically went bankrupt. And so what did they start doing? They started seizing bank accounts. So I just wanted to highlight this. Is there anything you want to add on to this for this part, Cole? Or should I move on to the next one?
I just think it's important to understand that your money sitting in the bank isn't safe. And, you know, since we're a kid, we were taught that, you know, having a bank account is paramount. Having a bank account is something that's ingrained in us. But really all we're doing, we shouldn't be paying for something that we're actually allowing the bank actually, I want to explain what actually happens. So a lot of you guys might already know this. If you don't, I want to share this piece of knowledge with you. So the money in your bank account is being utilized by the bank, okay, to make more money. So they're capitalizing on you. So they're capitalizing on your funds, and they're paying you a measly 3 to 4% annually on your money. right? And they're making hundreds. Go figure. Okay, it's time to make some changes.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see here, 428,000 bank accounts. May push it to over 500,000. But this is contrast with last year's, where 333,000 accounts were seized. So, it's not a new thing. It happened last year. In 2014, seizures averaged around 7,000 per month. So that's just Greece. Now I'm going to show you some other countries. So this is in Canada for the Freedom Convoy. So this is very recent, November 17th, 2022. All right. So this is regardless of what your thoughts are on, the COVID and all that. We live in a democratic country where people are meant to be allowed to protest their government if they think they are doing something against or illegal, or against what we're deemed to be considered free. All right. So the Freedom Convoy leaders weren't trying to get it. They say they weren't trying to get at the families. Basically, this goes on to say how they froze the Freedom Convoy protests. The people that were there protesting the government, and that they did not intend to hurt protesters' family ability to buy groceries or pay child support. So these families weren't able to feed their kids because they considered them terrorists or whatever. So this is in Canada. So if you think, oh, it can't happen in Australia, oh, that's Greece, blah, blah, blah. This is Canada, very similar to here. All because they were protesting what the government were doing. And now we, fast forward a bit and we realize that, Trudeau now actually supports the Chinese that are protesting their government over the same issue, which is bizarre, just to throw it out there. But that's in Canada, all right, freezing more bank accounts. And recently, protests in China over frozen bank accounts, ends of violence. Again, this is not very old ago. This is a few months. How do I get rid of that? I don't know how to get rid of that.
I think this is important to understand, that it's really about who really has control here. So what's happening is the control is getting taken away from the people, because the bank accounts, actually in the fine print of a bank account, everybody here has a bank account or has had a bank account. Now, when you go through that process in the fine print, it actually says that the bank basically owns your money.
Yeah.
It actually says it in there, just in words that probably the average person might not be able to understand. Now, what we're helping everybody here do is be their own bank, and to extract the wealth from the system, okay, and to have it in their possession, okay, and hold it in your hand physically. So getting it delivered to your house and having it physically, which we'll share a bit more about that in a second.
Yeah, so one last one before we go into that. Again, just highlighting what can happen. Tens of millions worth of frozen Russian assets in Estonia. Regardless, again, of your thoughts on the Russia-Ukraine incident, these are of, people in Russia. They're just people, they're not Putin. They're not, the ones fighting. They're just wealthy people that they've decided that they're going to freeze, people's bank accounts. So again, Russia, Canada, China, Greece, all examples. And we'll explain a little bit more later, but I just wanted to show what is possible, what can happen, and how, I guess, we're starting to become our own bank. So if I can just get out of this one. So should we start on this one?
Yeah, I think so. So obviously we've talked about the problems that we've brought them to the surface. The reason why we're doing it this way, the reason why we're breaking the rules, the reason why we're presenting this way now is because you can go yourself and Google this stuff. You can find this stuff. It's in real time. It's happening right now. So we want you guys to actually see these things that are happening in the media, and this is the mainstream media. So a lot of that I don't personally believe, but that's belief. But in the mainstream media, this is happening. They're showing you. It's in your face. It's in front of you. But we're not going to just share and just be those people that talk about the problems all the time and instill fear in you. We want to help. We want to help show you some solutions. and we want to, share with you a little bit about, how you can actually look to fix some of these problems, look to address some of these problems, and to help your circle of influence. So 7K has created an amazing membership that helps unlock a whole heap of benefits. We're going to talk about some of the benefits. We won't talk about all of the benefits, but I'm going to share with you some of the benefits that have helped me get to where I am and helped me become better at the things that I was terrible at in the past. And one of the things I was terrible at in the past was saving. Guys, I was useless at saving. Like, I'm serious. Like it was like a game of tennis. It was like, it goes in the account, it comes out of the account, it goes in the account, and it's just this evil game of tennis that I was
And that
playing
wasn't
with
even
myself.
because of inflation.
I had a really bad relationship with money. And what I started to learn is, okay, I need to find a way, I need to find a mechanism, I need to find something that's going to help me do this on autopilot, and it's going to actually stop me. I remember when I was a kid, I said, a young guy is kind of like an older teen. I was kind of in my 17, 18, and I had a poor relationship with money. I used to say to my mum, can you like set me up a bank account that I can't actually touch, right? Because I didn't have the willpower myself. I didn't have the discipline. Well, 7K has set up with the autosaver program, where we get the actual physical assets delivered to our door. They're collectible. They're delivered to our door on a month-by-month basis, high frequency, okay? High frequency, collectible, rare, delivered to our door on autopilot, right? Discipline, no discipline, okay? Just sent out, okay? The liquidation process is a little bit more difficult, and I like that myself because it makes me become more disciplined when I didn't have that discipline in the past. So like I've got, hundreds of ounces of collectibles now, in my possession, which I love. It's amazing. And the other thing that's really helped me get to where I am is the residual income. Now, a lot of people think residual income is just amazing because you're getting money coming in on autopilot and you don't have to trade as many hours for dollars. But for me, it's what it's allowed me to do. It's what it's given me. It's what it's empowered me to do. It's my mind can now, stretch and grow and help more people. Where I wasn't able to do that when I was working in a job, when I was working in something that wasn't actually fulfilling me as much as it used to when I first started in the fitness industry over 10 years ago. Now I have the ability to help more people. Now I have the ability to empower more people because of the residual income. And I always say to people, this business, because of residual income, all it is a vehicle that allows us to move towards our vision and our greater dreams and aspirations. So I'm going to pass it over to Ryan, and he's going to give you a little bit of insight to his favorite membership benefits, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah, thank you. Those two are definitely up there with my favorite as well, especially with, like I said, the rising cost of living that we've just highlighted. It's always good, if you have an extra 100, 200, 300 to help, with that. And then if you have even more to, be able to help more people, it's always amazing. So, but I guess my favorite is, I always say it, but I'm going to say it again because it's dead set. My favorite, it's not even on here. And that is the community. It's the community, the training, the ability to be able to talk to people, ask questions, because like I said at the very start of this presentation, I didn't know a single thing about gold or silver whatsoever. All right, I didn't know anything. So being able to do the training that they provide, to be able to talk to people, a big, massive community of all different walks of life, and they're so kind and caring and generous, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than that. Like, we live in a very fearful world. So if people, often if they feel fearful or they don't know what they're doing, they just give up. And that's what can happen if you, buy from just a random dealer or from thing you normally just on your own, you buy it and then, you don't really know what you're doing, sort of thing. But here you can ask questions, you can talk to people, people can provide answers, all different answers. And that's what I really, really love, the community. So for me, the community is the number one benefit. Again, not even on here. All of these are incredible. But I guess another good one, which Cole's actually going to, I guess, showcase it, is the Sound Money wallet. And the reason being is because it's like your own private vault, your own private bank, and it allows you to, I guess, break free from that system that we were just highlighting before, where people getting their assets frozen. And that's what I really, really like. And it also allows anyone, and I mean anyone, to be able to buy gold and silver. If you only have $2, if you keep buying $2 every single week, every single month for a long time, guess what? You're going to have a lot of gold and silver eventually. That's what's so good about it. It's better than just leaving $2, and going, oh, well, hopefully that makes me more money. It's not going to happen. So the Sound Money wallet allows any single person to buy as much or as little as they like. And Cole's going to be able to, I guess, showcase it a bit more and how quick and easy it is. So yeah, that's for me is that. So do you want to showcase the Sound Money wallet now, Cole?
Yes, I can do that for us.
You want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing for a second. I'll give us a second. I'll share my screen. All right, cool. So you guys can see their screen there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just don't mind me if my internet's a little bit slow, guys. Obviously, I live rurally, so the internet can be a little bit slow. But what we're going to showcase in here is we're going to share a little bit about the Sound Money wallet, the power of the Sound Money wallet, and the power of the technology. It's important to understand that this really is very much like a PayPal or Venmo or a way to transact in gold and silver. So there's some exciting stuff coming with the Sound Money wallet. Obviously, we do get paid into the cash balance, and we have the ability to diversify in gold and silver. As you guys can see here, the actual dollars or the ounce amount, so 148 ounces of silver there, and then the actual dollar amount here, which actually moves with the market. Okay, so it's actually in real time. It's in real time. This technology, believe it or not, some of the biggest institutions, banks, mints in the world are trying to figure out how 7K has this technology. 7K has some of the best, I guess, creators of this technology in the world. Okay, so they have some of the, the best developers in the world to put this together. And it is quite clever. You can transfer. I'll try to do a transfer now. I've got to put in a security code first, but we're going to pick someone that's on this call, Ryan. You can look through the audience now. Okay. Just while I get this authenticator up, and I put this code in here. So, and I'm going to show you guys a transaction in real time so that you can understand how amazing this technology is. Okay, so just remember you can transfer gold, silver, or cash, member to member.
Or you can get it mailed out to you. So this is one, so you can see from the Sound Money wallet, 1 ounce silver eagle. So Cole will show you all that.
Okay, cool. So first and foremost, so you can do exactly what Ryan said. So you could have silver or gold delivered. Okay, so you go silver balance, and then you'd go mail it to me. Okay, and then you'd have it mailed to you. Okay, but today we're going to do silver balance. I'm going to send it to another member. And who are we sending it to, Ryan?
We'll go Adam Goody.
Okay, so just remember that you need to have a 7K membership. Okay, so
hey guys, sorry, Adam he's my guest tonight, so he doesn't have an account.
Okay, well I'll send it to Bethany then.
Yeah, my username is all directions.
What
but
is
spelled
it?
ALLDEREKTIONS.
Directions.
Yep, Aussie fam 22.
Oh, I got all directions. Yeah.
Yep, Aussie AUSSIE FAM
No one's hacking that. Too long.
22.
You could have made it a little bit easier.
Well, it's all connected to my business, you know.
You forgot the I. Is it directions with an S? Might be an S as well.
Yeah, it's directions, but it's spelled like my last name. So DEREKTIONS.
DER, yes.
EK.
Okay, I got
There
you.
you go.
Okay, please change your username because
Oh,
You can see the processing fee is free. And where are you at the moment, Bethany?
I'm just outside of Coffs Harbour.
Well, there you go. So she's
Yeah.
in Coffs Harbour, Coles in New Zealand.
okay. So I'm gonna send it now, but I left you a little note there.
Righto.
Just a little tip for you, just a little hot tip.
Woo! Cheers.
In the message to recipient, right? So I've left you a little note there, just for future reference, all right? Sending, bang, and it's there.
Done.
Okay, beautiful. So that's how the Sound Money wallet works. Obviously, you can send gold, silver, cash,
And I just got my email to say that I've received it.
There you go.
amazing.
That's quicker than a bank.
Here's the
Oh,
transaction
way
here.
quicker.
You guys can see. Here's the transaction here. The amount of silver. So I lowballed her a little bit. It's a little bit less than an ounce.
Oh, come on.
Oh, tight ass.
I lowballed her. I went with a guesstimate. I didn't realize it was $41.95. I shortchanged her a little bit. She can handle it, especially with that username. So that's how the technology works, guys. It's really straightforward. And it's just going to continue to get better. As they introduce new things with the Sound Money wallet, this will become a real phenomenon. And looking at something like this as an alternative to the banking system. So I'm gonna pass back to you, Ryan. I'll stop my share and then I'll pass back to you. And then we'll go back and we'll finish off.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we talked about the Sound Money wallet.
Do we do collectibles? Yeah.
Yeah, jump into collectibles. Let's talk about collectibles.
All right. So we talked about the Sound Money wallet. We talked about how I guess you can use it to buy gold, silver, transfer between the lots, send to member, all for free. And we showcased, I guess, a good defensive strategy in bullion. But we do have something that's way cooler than bullion. And that is, I guess, the collectible game where you get awesome, incredible, fine art, rare, beautiful art pieces that we consider it the offensive game because it's not tied to the spot price that's heavily manipulated. It's tied to the value of what people perceive it to be. So you have a higher chance of it going up, I guess, dramatically as opposed to bullion. So this is, I guess, the collectible game. So as we watch this video, what we want you to do in the comment section, there's going to be quite a few different coins come up. There's 2 on the side already that you can see. Whatever coin comes up that you decide out of all of them is your favorite or that you would like to get or that you may already have, put it in the chat and let us know, I guess, what one's your favorite, and we'll read some of them out afterwards. Thank you.
The collectible market has proven to be a robust way for wealthy families around the world to not only protect, but also grow their wealth, and more importantly, their legacy. A collectible usually has to be rare or low mintage, has to have unique or artistic designs, a great story, or have historic significance. So if you look at the paper this amazing Spider-Man comic book from 1962 is printed on, it's only worth a couple of dollars. In 2021, this comic book sold for a record $3.6 million. The person or family that bought this book was not buying the paper. They were buying the emotion, the art, rarity, story, and other things they found valuable about this book. In fact, most wealthy families that are playing the collectibles game are doing it not only for their financial protection or gain, but also to preserve their family legacy. If you look at the top 5 places wealthy families turned in order to protect and grow their wealth during the financial crisis of 2008, you will see that 3 of the 5 things are collectible in some way. And the other 2? Sound money. Unfortunately, not many families have an extra $1 or $2 million laying around to buy high-end collectibles, nor would they even know where to start. But 7K is bridging the gap so that the average family can start playing the game with rare, unique, but also affordable collectibles through modern coins. In 2004, a coin called Tiffany Art No. 1 hit the market for about $90. Now, $90 doesn't seem unreasonable for the average family to scrape together in order to add this incredible coin to their wealth portfolio. Today, though, if you wanted to go buy this same coin, it would cost you at least $8,000. But the metal in the coin is only worth roughly $50 today. The additional value in the coin is due to the rarity, story, beauty, or whatever else a potential buyer finds to be valuable. That is the added leverage or offense collectibles can add to a wealth portfolio. You can see here just a few more examples of the same thing play out in other coins. Modern collector coins have a very good track record over the last 20 to 30 years of being a powerful tool inside of the offense of a well-rounded wealth strategy. 7K not only offers some of the best coins from around the world, but also designs and mints its own coins, giving 7K members exclusive or first access. 7K also makes adding cool, unique, and rare collectible coins extremely easy through one of the most powerful member benefits called the Autosaver. The Autosaver program takes all of the thinking out of collecting and leverages the experts at 7K to send you a rare and exclusive collectible coin every single month. It is truly a set it and forget it, zero discipline approach to automate your collectible asset stacking. You will just need to choose one of the options you like best and watch them show up at your door every month. There are other ways you can also take your stacking to the next level though, with your own shopping cart called 7K Selected and also special sales called Coin Drops. 7K provides many ways to win with collectible gold and silver. As you can see here, Eddie Spears has spent very little time to get a massive head start making sure a wealth legacy comes from him. All the same, Chris Latin Sr. says he collects both bullion and collector coins, and you can see he has built a very nice stack. He even claims it is now one of his most valued possessions because of what it will mean for him and his family in the future.
All right, so we've got Lady Bird. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Caesar, Black Panther. Yeah, I love those two. They're one of my favorites. Couple of people talking about the USS Arizona one. My Tomb of Unknown Soldiers. Incredible. Yeah, those ones are going really well. Incredible equity. Yeah. I mean, they're also cool. Like once you get your first one, you just become addicted. Like, I don't think at 32 I'd be addicted to coin collecting, but I definitely am, and I love it. So I want to get some of those stacks that those guys are showing us at the end there. Anything you want to add on to that, Cole?
No, that's cool. It's perfect.
All right. Hold up. I actually want to show, Case, just before we move on. Is this everyone can still see it. So this here, we're talking about how, I guess, the top 5 places that the wealthy stored, protect, and grew their wealth in the 2008 financial crash. So we were showing the US debt clock back at the start and comparing to 2008, and it was, 2008 was just a little blip compared to now. And, this is where they put their money to protect and grow their wealth. Whereas what do we have here at 7K? We have 4 out of the 5, exclusive real estate, yeah, we don't have that, but we've got fine art. Look at these coins. We've got rare coins. The coins excel. Gold, we've got gold. Usable precious metals, got that. So 4 out of the 5, just in that membership alone, all tick, 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 tick. So just want to highlight that just because of how, I guess, vital it is. Like you said, history leaves clues.
All right, cool. So we'll talk about the problems. All right, we've spoke about the problems. We've talked about the membership benefits. We spoke a little bit about collectibles, bullion, the sound money wallet. But you might be thinking, okay, what's the best way to get started? How do we get started? Look, I mean, there's really two options. There's two options here, and it doesn't really matter too much which you choose to go with, but there are some aspects that we do want to help you guys understand so you can make a more educated decision. So getting started with 7K is quite simple. You're just going to get on board. You're going to get yourself a membership. You either pick the standard or the premium. And like Ryan always says, it's like being on a flight. It's like economy, okay, or premium, okay. And depending on economy and first class, I call premium first class in my eyes. But it really depends on how serious you are and what you're wanting to do moving forward in terms of, you know, if you're wanting to actually take this business and actually build it, or you're wanting to just be a customer, accumulate gold and silver and get some of those stacks that you saw previously. There's lots of education in both options, okay, where you can actually become more knowledgeable in the space. I mean, I can speak for myself here. Like when I first started out, I had no idea. I spent 8 months figuring out everything about this business before I actually took the bull by the horns and actually did something with it. Now, I encourage people to just get started. Doesn't matter which one you pick, just get started and then kind of learn as you go. Treat this like an apprenticeship where you can actually get started and actually have the ability to earn if you so choose. So the standard is $199 and then the premium is $499. Just get in where you fit, and whatever works best for you. You can always upgrade. There's an upgrade option as well if you choose to actually run with this business and take it seriously. So those are your two options. Really, really straightforward.
Exactly. Standard membership works out about $16 a month. So if you've got Netflix and you think you can't afford $16 a month, cancel that, jump on your buddies, mate, and your way you go. Because if you can't afford that right now, the way the economy is looking, it's going to get even harder. So we need to start putting things in place. And for those people that were talking about the term of the unknown soldier, this is it here. So if you wanted to have a quick look at that, that's it there. So I guess actually before we do this, or talk about this, I just want to talk about one quick thing. So if you're there, we've talked about the seizing of the banks. We've talked briefly about, I guess, bail-in laws, but in 2008 we had bailout laws, so where they printed money to bail out. Now in Greece they did bail-in laws, and if people are thinking, oh, it can't happen in Australia, this is a little article talking about, can it happen? Can we have bail-in laws? I just want to highlight, I guess, this here. So this is the bill that Senator Malcolm Roberts tried to, I guess, pass, and hope that one, they would provide definitions of what a bail-in and what a deposit account is, because they're saying, oh no, we can't touch deposit accounts. We're giving brief terms of bail-ins like they always do. And this is a bill basically trying to get them to give definitions of what a bail-in is and what a deposit account is. The bill provides that the Provisional Banking Act 1959 relating to bail-in, the conservation of write-off provision of Banking Act, do not exceed to the bail-in of a deposit account. So these are basically the things he was trying to get. This is back in 2020. And this is the outcome of that bill. So Senator Malcolm Roberts, it's not proceeding. So it didn't get past the second reading. So they basically threw it out, said, oh, it's not worth it. Whereas, you know, if you follow politics, some bills get put through real quick, real urgently. And this one apparently not very urgent. It's not very needed. We don't need to worry about, you know, defining what a bail-in is, defining what deposit accounts are. So again, this is all government side. I'm not making this up. This is right there. So I just wanted to highlight that to you in case you were unaware. Again, you can, you know, search this all up yourself. So I just wanted to, I guess, highlight that in case people send back, oh, it probably won't happen in Australia. Can't happen in Australia, because it definitely can.
Cool. And thanks for sharing that as well, Ryan. I think it's really important to understand what's actually happening in the economy, what's happening in the banking system, so you can prepare better for your future. And speaking of future, I think this is another thing that we want to bring up. We've mentioned a whole heap of stuff here in terms of, you know, articles. We've brought up different things that are going on in the world, not only here down in Australia and New Zealand, but all around the world, the problems, and we've highlighted some of the solutions. We give you some options on what you can do and how you can approach using a real strategy that's long-term and sustainable and solid. But we didn't mention the last thing that we wanted to bring up, which is actually really vital. And we know that stacking assets is a good idea, but there's actually another big problem that's going on right now is people are struggling with cash flow. And when I found out, I spent 8 months in this business, and I had no idea that I had the ability to actually, share this with other people and empower other people to save in precious metals and to create discipline and to, create solid habits and compound those habits and be rewarded for that. So, we're helping people save in the number 1 and the number 6 asset in the world, and we're getting rewarded and paid, for doing it. So this is quite powerful when you actually think about it. I've worked with a lot of products over the years, guys. I've been in quite a few companies where, I've worked with nutrition-based products, but knowing that you have a product that actually has real value,
Doesn't expire.
Doesn't expire. It's no shelf life. The longer it sits on the shelf, the more the more value it potentially acquires. But the powerful thing about this is there's people around you that actually need help. There's people around you that are drowning. There's people around you that need support. They need an additional stream of income, and this is where we can empower them and help them. So we want to share this quick video. It's going to share a little bit about how the pay plan with 7K works, and then we'll come back and we'll reassess.
So you want to learn more about how you get paid from sharing? Smart. There's nothing worse than the emotional pressure of not having enough money to pay the bills or be able to live the life of contribution. So right now, I'm going to show you how your life is about to change financially forever. It's super simple, and it goes like this. Our standard annual membership is $199, and our premium annual membership is $499. You can't go wrong with either of them. When you refer your first 2 memberships, you'll immediately have 2 teams and will now be qualified to earn commissions. So for simplicity, let's call them the right team and the left team. Every time a standard membership is purchased in your organization, you earn 50 rewards points, and a premium membership earns you 150 rewards points. In order to get paid, you'll need to accumulate 500 rewards points on your right team and 500 rewards points on your left team to earn a $500 commission check. For those who really want to make an impact and some serious income, we have different levels of achievement, and the higher your level of achievement, the higher your check. When you achieve the rank of associate, like I said earlier, you can earn up to $500 per week. As a copper, you can earn up to $1,000 per week. As a bronze, $2,000 per week. And as a silver, $3,500 per week. Now our golds are eligible to earn up to $7,000 per week. Our executive golds, $10,000 per week. And our presidential golds can earn all the way up to $12,500 per week. Share, earn points, and get paid. It's as simple as that. Now, let me ask you something. How much different would your life be if you had an extra $500 to $12,500 per week? What would you do? Would the financial pressure be gone? How big of an impact could you really make? You could almost feel the weight lift, can't you? Now, remember you earn 50 or 150 rewards points for each membership in your organization. But you don't just earn points on the memberships. For each autosaver anyone in your organization purchases, you earn an additional point value starting at 15 points, depending on what option you choose. So whether it's a membership sold or a coin sold, you earn points. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if for any reason you want to sell your gold and silver bullion, we offer the highest buyback price. And with the new Sound Money wallet, we made things even easier with an instant purchase, instant buyback, member-to-member transfer, and a live dashboard showing you what assets you have available to you. And since each purchase of gold or silver eagles in Sound Money wallet are backed by physical gold and silver, We'll even send you your medal if you decide you need it. That's all there is to it.
I think when we looked at this article here, you know, almost half of Aussies run out of money before payday. And then we've talked about fiat system, we've talked about debt, we've talked about the economy, we've talked about inflation. People can buy these real physical, tangible assets that are there, you can hold, touch, you know, that have a way better chance of going up in value than, you know, leaving it in the fiat system. And then you can get paid to do it. It's incredible. Like, don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. Don't think, oh, you know, 10,000 a week sounds good, but just think about how much would $500 a month extra, how much would that help? You know, you no longer don't have to worry about the fuel going up because you can cover that, or you don't have to worry about the electricity going up because you can cover that. You know, it's going to take little things off, and then if you build it up, then you know, 500 every 2 weeks, and it's all possible when you're sharing, you know, the number one asset, and whether it's the most undervalued asset or the number one in market cap. So it truly is incredible, and people need it right now, and people need to, I guess, be sharing this more, because, you know, when times that people need it. So yeah, anything you want to add on to that, Cole?
Exciting. That's all I need to add.
Exactly.
It's exciting. It's exciting. And you know, I guess we have come to the end of this presentation, haven't we? We just got to do the last slide, don't we, Ryan?
Yeah.
So I'll get Ryan to share this last piece of slide. This is his favorite slide, doing the compliance disclosure.
Yeah. So we pretty much come to the end of the presentation. I'd like to thank you for coming and spending the afternoon a little bit of it with us. We hope we've brought, I guess, some real value to you, and there's some stuff that you've resonated. Just want to also, I guess, let you know that this is actually a legacy company, and we are working with some of the best in the industry. So NGC, that verify these coins, you can see on there, NGC, they are considered probably the biggest coin grading company in the world. So they're putting their brand on the coins. CIT Mint, again, has some of the only technology that can actually create and design these coins. So again, one of the best, or the best in the industry. And then the best in the industry, and the legend Michael Miles Standish, designing a lot of our coins as well. So he's in the numismatic space, is considered, I guess, the Michael Jordan of the industry. His accolades are incredible. If you want, look him up. He's an awesome man, very humble, very easygoing, and he designs a lot of our coins as well. So
including the USS Arizona, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
You got it right.
You got it right. So yeah, like I said, this is a legacy company, you know, and legacy in terms of you creating your own legacy. You know, no one is going to, you know, get angry, you know, if you stack silver or gold for 50 years and then you pass it on to your kids or grandchildren. I don't think anyone's going to be pissed off at you that you did that. You know, like, and it's as simple as doing a little bit each month. Start thinking long term, start thinking past, you know, a week, past a month, past a year, past 10 years. Start thinking about that, because they're not going to expire. They're not going to run out. You can pass this to your kids, pass this to your grandkids. You're not going to just leave them debt, or, you know, $100,000 bill, because that's how much the money had to go up to, you know, compete with everything. So this, just before we finish, the 7K income disclosure statement, I'm not going to read it all. You can send it to you if you like. But what I do want to say is, obviously, we're not financial advisors, nor do we want to be. We're just people that, you know, like to educate and like to showcase what we're doing or what's working for us. But another key important part of this company is that majority, 85% of those who buy a 7K membership are just purely in it for the products alone, and simply enjoy just being a customer. They're not worried about the share plan. They're not looking at that. They just want to be customers and buy the products because of how amazing they are. And when you've got a company that's built around a product base that people love, companies usually do very well, and they usually survive a long, long time, no matter which way the economy is going, because you've got a solid, I guess, customer base. So I just wanted to point that out. Is there anything you want to finish off on, Cole?
I just want to say thanks for everybody that took the time to come to this presentation. Obviously, we do these presentations every week. We've got 2 more for the year. We're going to make the last one. We're going to make the last one a special one. So make sure you're at the last presentation.
Christmas one.
Yeah, it's going to be a
dressing
Christmas
up?
one. Maybe I'll wear a Christmas hat.
Are we dressing up?
Might get me to wear a Christmas hat. We don't put up a Christmas tree in my house, but like you might get me to wear a Christmas hat just this one time. So guys, we want to thank you. We're grateful that you guys are here. We appreciate you. We do value your time, and we want to thank you for valuing ours. And you know, have an amazing night, have an amazing weekend, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys. Really good.
No worries.
On you,
Hey
fellas.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.